Now, look, I wasn't naturally drawn to go to a biohacking event. Most of my work focuses on supporting the natural intelligence of the nervous system, not hacking it. But what I discovered at Wanderlust Wellspring Biohack Summit completely shifted how I see the entire biohacking movement. And it's actually not what you think. Hello, beautiful human. My name's Dan, and I've been working with high level entrepreneurs and founders on nervous system health and mind somatic integration for over a decade now. And as a former physiotherapist working in elite sport, running multiple businesses, including a series of physiotherapy clinics, I've studied the full spectrum of human health at the depth across physical, psychological, and spiritual dimensions, running retreats, coaching one-to-one, and helping leaders expand their capacity. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what I see as the 5 most important things to highlight about health, longevity, and the direction the biohacking world is heading in. And by the end of the video, you'll understand how to approach your own health and performance in a way that actually supports your nervous system instead of forcing it into patterns that just can't last. And by the end, I'll share the one factor that impacts your overall health more than anything else. And it's something most biohackers completely overlook. Here's what surprised me most. Multiple speakers at this event emphasized something I've been a big advocate for years. You cannot out biohack dysregulated physiology. Let me explain what this means. Think of your health like an iceberg. All those biohacking products you see, the supplements, the gadgets, the cold plunges, those are just the tip. They're visible, they're sexy, they're easy to sell. But the full depth of the work, that's happening beneath the surface, in your nervous system, in your subconscious patterns. And it's why Carl Jung stipulates we need to make the unconscious conscious. Otherwise, it will direct your life and you'll call it fate. Here's the thing, and this is where it gets interesting. Your nervous system has a natural intelligence that's been fine-tuned over millions of years of evolution. It innately knows how to regulate itself brilliantly when we stop interfering with it. The question isn't, how can I hack my biology? The real question is, how can I support my nervous system in remembering to do what it already does best? The speakers confirmed what I saw with my clients before they made the decision to go deeper. If you're using biohacking as a distraction from attending to your deeper psychological and spiritual health, you're just putting band-aids on patterns that need genuine attention. But, and this is crucial, if biohacking becomes a gateway for you to meet yourself at a deeper level, to develop the capacity to be with the full spectrum of the human experience, then it becomes incredibly powerful and gets amplified by the deeper inner work. So on to point 2. Light is everything. We have just one constant light source, and that's the sun. And it's been around as long as there's been life on this planet. And we've somehow forgotten how to work with it properly. Andy Mant from Boncharge, a sleep recovery and well-being company, he kept it pretty simple. Align with natural light cycles. Too easy, right? But here's what most people miss. When you wake up, expose yourself to natural light within a 20 to 30 minute window. Just 3 minutes is a great start. If you catch the first light of sunrise, there are essentially 0 UV rays in those first few minutes, and that red light boosts and prepares your melatonin stores for a good night's sleep 12 hours later. I've personally become addicted to this over the last 90 days or so. I wake up 30 minutes before the sunrise, meditate for 20 minutes, and get outside just in time for that sun to peak above the horizon. It's brought an energy and aliveness to my days from a calm yet vibrant state. And that's what I call relaxed intensity, meeting the beautiful intensities of life fully and effectively with a layer of nervous system relaxation underneath it all. Throughout your day, blue and bright white light from the screen shoots you into high frequency beta brainwaves. That's emergency mode or get stuff done mode. This is useful, but extended periods of exposure can be detrimental to short-term clarity of thought and long-term health. So wearing blue light blockers can help. When the sun goes down, dampen bright lights where possible. Your nervous system is trying to shift from beta through to alpha through theta and delta brain waves, but you keep focusing it to stay activated. This isn't biohacking. This is bioharmonization. You're supporting what your nervous system naturally wants to do, which ironically enough is to support you better than your thinking mind knows how to. So the third key highlight, Jeff Krasno talked about longevity, not just as adding years to your life, which is lifespan, but adding life to your years. This is called health span. And here's what's useful. Jeff outlined 9 key practices in his new book, Good Stress. Great read. Deliberate heat therapy, cold therapy, fasting, light therapy, exercise, both resistance and cardio, meditation and breathwork, social fitness and challenging conversations, eating stressed plants, and finally, rewilding, going barefoot, squatting, grounding, nature immersion, and so on. And so the key point that Jeff made is that all of these practices were good stresses that we naturally encountered because of the way that we used to live. And they kept our nervous system capacity and resilience light and agile and adaptable. And it's pretty comforting to know that they're all a part of my weekly ritual. And I feel pretty fortunate to actually enjoy most of these. But here's the key. These aren't hacks. They're stresses, good stresses. And when done in the right way and individualized for you, they're ways of titrating your nervous system capacity, expanding your window of tolerance by about 5% beyond your current comfort zone, then allowing for integration. And so now let's talk about the heat therapy component. Let's talk saunas for a second, because this is one of my favorite ways to switch from work mode into evening regeneration mode. Most research has been done on traditional Finnish saunas. And did you know, fun fact, that Finland has more saunas than they do cars? It's pretty crazy. And so the Finns use saunas in the same way the rest of the world uses showers. With a shower, we cleanse from the outside in, and the sauna completes that process by cleansing from the inside out, detoxing. And so high quality infrared saunas also have a growing body of quality research coming out and have the capacity for deep, penetrative healing benefits. And company Found Space, founded by Alex Tyson, make some of the best, if not the best, in terms of both build quality and technology. And this isn't just my opinion, but one that the world's leaders in saunas in Finland have stated. And so an important point here, if you're using sauna, doing fasting, or working out, you need to replenish your sodium stores, your salts, because it's easy to become depleted. This is incredibly important for healthy cell function and hydration. And now after the event, I carry Sodi Hydration everywhere because it's both super effective and the best electrolyte that I've tasted on the market. Think salty pineapple, super delicious and low in sugar. And by the way, if you're finding value in this and you want to go deeper with mind, body, nervous system support, just head to the Work With Me link in the description below. There's a quick explainer video about who I can and can't help, and you can apply to work with me one-to-one or enroll into our deep nervous system reset retreats. I'd be more than happy to consult with you to help you build, grow, and expand your natural capacity. And so that you know, I'll be personally jumping on that call with you, not some salesperson. So if you need that, the link is there. Anyway, the point here is this. Health span is about maintaining muscle and cognitive function, metabolic health, and all round connection so that you're not just alive longer, you're actually thriving longer. Now, for the fourth insight, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon calls muscle the organ of longevity. And this landed for me on a personal level. Muscle isn't just about aesthetics or physical performance. Strong and healthy skeletal muscle positively impacts metabolic function, cognitive function, and immune function. It's an organ system we can voluntarily control, which means we can actively build resilience against disease and accelerated aging. This is something I've been personally reclaiming over the last 18 months after a 3-year injury that meant significant atrophy, which is muscle wasting. And let me tell you, it feels good to be back. While we're in this human meat suit, muscle is a key pillar of health. But here's what connects back to nervous system health. Whether it's the good stresses Jeff Krasno speaks to, building and maintaining healthy muscle mass, there has to be a period for recovery. None of what we've spoken to can be done effectively if you're stuck in chronic sympathetic activation. Your body won't recover. You won't sleep properly. The stress response will keep you in a catabolic state, breaking down tissue instead of building it up. This is why the nervous system foundation has to be attended to. It's just a non-negotiable. And this brings me to the fifth and incredibly important point. Gut health, microbiome treatments, supplements are incredible. And they all fall short without psycho-spiritual somatic work. Dr. Will Cole emphasized this beautifully. He's fully an advocate for healthy gut, healthy mind, and attending to your microbiome, but he also placed huge emphasis on the need for healthy emotional release, literally crying it out when you need to. And he pointed to the science behind the benefits, or the need for somatic processes like FBR breathwork technique, which we facilitate. And that allows for crying, shaking, rage, and other expressions to take place in a safe and effective way. He stated clearly, all unexpressed emotions can have physical effects, keeping the body in sympathetic and inflammatory overactivation. Key words here, keeping and overactivation. Because activation itself isn't bad. That's your nervous system doing its job, moving through the stress cycle of flight and fight. But when the mind intervenes and tries to control this biological process, we can get stuck. Incomplete reflexes and stress responses, patterns that run in the low brain and show up as chronic stress, reactivity, taking things personally, inability to switch off. Even Dave Asprey, love him or hate him, one of the first in the biohacking space, as we know it today, has evolved from just focusing on diet, nutrition, and supplements to recognizing the importance of psycho-spiritual health in his latest book, Heavily Meditated. And he talks about forgiveness being one of the most important practices in life. Can you see the pattern here? The biohacking space is waking up to what your nervous system has known all along. You need to attend to the deeper, unseen parts of the iceberg, remembering the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. This is where the nectar lives. And so here's the one thing that impacts your overall health more than anything else that I've discovered. Connection, and how that comes through in community, happiness, and not happiness like some artificial positive state, but a genuine sense of lightness, joyfulness, moments of pure spontaneity, laughter, a healthy yet realistic positive outlook on life, a real deep sense of connection with your own natural expression in the world through breath, movement, sound, touch, communication, art, business as purpose. It's all art. It's all expression. And when you let the distractions fall away and connect and reignite with the deepest, most free sense of you, naturally you connect more genuinely with others. And to my relief and excitement, the essence of this message was repeated again and again at Wanderlust Wellspring. Your version of genuine connection ripples through all areas of health and has the greatest positive impact on your health. Move and breathe freely, sauna, eat well, sometimes in solitude, sometimes with others. Work, purpose, and service as the acts of giving allow us to receive more than we otherwise ever could. You simply being and expressing as you in the world is the most powerful act of love possible. So love and live fully. This is a process that requires a powerful dance of deep engagement, yet deep allowance. And to wake up that capacity, that quality of being, I call relaxed intensity, where you're meeting the beautiful intensities of life fully without losing your edge, you need to first support your nervous system in completing those incomplete stress cycles. You need to expand your window of tolerance through gentle titration, not forcing. You need to support your natural intelligence to guide the process instead of your thinking mind trying to hack the code. Do this, and you'll find that biohacking becomes less about forcing outcomes and more about supporting what's already brilliant within you. I really hope this video helps you get there. And if you want support with nervous system work, whether that's through our deep dive retreats or our 90-day nervous system mastery program, specifically designed for leaders and founders, that link is in the description below. Now, if you found this useful, you need to watch this next video where I break down the link between brainwaves and resilience and how you can increase that capacity and the specific things you can do in your day-to-day. I'll see you in the next one, together in deep work, rest, and play.